I'm Kristen Lee. I figured with my classic Rosie the Riveter look, I would tell you where to find classic Halloween movies that are streaming this year. But they kind of made it easy for me, so I don't know where this video is going to take us. So right now, Peacock, if you have Peacock Premium, they have the Universal Classic Monsters franchise. So Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, and The Wolfman are all on Peacock right now. So from the 1930s on, which is awesome. I have to tell my dad, Frankenstein meets The Wolfman. Trying to think. Phantom of the Opera's on there. I might be watching that. See, the problem is that I love the idea of black and white movies. I love just the theater performance that they give. But the black and white part, I fall asleep every single time. Oh, wow. Werewolf of London, 1935 is on there. If you want to watch The Creature from the Black Lagoon, that is on Tubi. And then a staple, my dad already watched it. We're going to have to watch it again. But a staple in our house is Abbott and Costello Meet the Universal Monsters. Oh my gosh. If you never watched it, we watch it on Amazon. But you can rent it. If you are going to try a black and white older movie, I suggest that. It's so funny. I love the phone call with, I think it's the Wolfman. And he's like growling at him. And he's like, well, you don't have to be so rude. There's like just lines in it that are just fantastic. But it's also wild for me is a lot of the movies that I grew up with are now considered classic movies. So like the Tales from the Crypt franchise, I think that's on Max. I'm going to have to look because I thought that when I was going to go search for the classics, usually they're all over the place. Like Netflix has some and HBO has some, and then Amazon buys some, but they're all on Peacock. So give me a minute and I'll come back with a few other ones like that are my favorite, maybe from like the 1960s to the 80s. If you've never seen them, just put them on your radar. So I'll be back when I come up with that list. All right, so I found Amazon and Max things to try. I know one of them is in the 90s, but I love it and I consider it a classic. So do with that what you will. But on Prime, they have the original Carrie, which I like the remake too, but I like the original one. The Exorcist, which that messed me up. I didn't watch it until I was in my 20s, and I had watched all the spoofs, and I thought, okay, I can handle it. And one of my favorite just movies is the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and I was like, yeah, I can handle it. And it got to this one point, wasn't ready. It wasn't in any of the spoofs, wasn't ready, and it scared the crap out of me, and it still lives rent-free in my brain. It's when she's coming down the stairs backwards and blood's going everywhere. Yeah, no. Another one on Prime that's a classic is Nosferatu and The House on Haunted Hill. Oh my gosh. I think it's Vincent Price. And it is just so creepy. I don't even know how to explain it. You have to go in blind, but it's a psychological thriller within a horror. It is really well done, and I still find different things when I watch it. So that one's a really good classic. The original Amityville Horror, The Shining. I watch that every year. I don't know what that says about me, but I also watch this every year, which is The Evil Dead. And I think you can get The Evil Dead 2 or Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness, but I think you have to rent them. But they're worth a watch if you've never watched any of those. They're funny, they're campy, but there are some scary parts to it. And then this is I don't know if it's really a classic, but I love the movies. Witches of Eastwick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is one of my favorite witch movies ever. And then Death Becomes Her is on Prime. So I have to watch that. I haven't watched that in years. I know that it was made in the 90s. I think it was 92. But still, if you've never seen it, you should try it. And in the comments, would you take the potion? And then Max, they have a bunch. But they have the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they have the whole series. I think they have that, and I think they have Friday the 13th. So they have that. And they have the original Night of the Living Dead, which creeps me out more than any other zombie movie. I don't know whether it's how slow they move or the fact that the real villain are the people in the house and not the zombies, or just how, I don't know, but it's one of those black and white movies that it gave me nightmares because it was just so creepy to me. And then just for giggles, has anybody ever watched the movie Videodrome? I haven't seen it in years, but it is messed up. So that's on Peacock. So between Peacock, Prime, HBO, and I know that Hulu has some, but I couldn't find any of them in the list. So if I find them, I'll bring them up, because I'm going to do my faves, like a list of my favorite horror movies that have no content issue. I don't know what I want to say. Hold on. Content theme. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. So this is my video. It's kind of thrown together. When I was making my list of things to do, I was like, this is a great idea, and I'll get it out there. This way, if people want to try classic movies, here's a list. But apparently the streaming services had the same idea, made it super easy for anybody that wants to find them. Let me know if you are going to watch any of these. Have you watched them? What's your favorites? And enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.